The judge is reading his sentencing of 6ix9ine. The 13-month-long process of getting 6ix9ine to this point. He's been locked up for 13 months. He pled guilty about 2 to 3 months in, and then we found out he was cooperating with the government. Okay? His cooperation led to him eventually testifying against his kidnappers, and now the prosecutors push for a early sentencing that he would be sentenced before 2020, because the court stops I think this week. They stop and they take a break till next year. So he was hoping to get time served to come out today, spend Christmas with his family, maybe even prep some music for next year. The judge, while reading his sentencing, shot that down in the first minute. He says, you're not getting out today. Okay? He says, you met with the government 26 times, reviewing social media messages and decoding them. Your cooperation enabled the government to take down a violent gang beyond the 6 you named in the initial indictment. Oh, shit. It says 6ix9ine named 6 niggas in the initial indictment? Oh, so I guess in the initial the fuck? Oh, you testified at trial this fall. I saw you straining to make straighten. I guess it means straighten to make sure you were measuring your words right. You testify in harsh glare of the nationwide publicity. There were 2 other cooperators, but you squarely implicated the defendant. So basically, he's saying we had 2 other people. One was the guy known as CEO Chris, and the other person that was the driver that was telling on the gang. And basically, they're saying 6ix9ine testimony was the testimony that sent these niggas to jail. So the judge is now giving him credit. As I said, see through your bullshit, call you on your shit, now I'll give you credit. It's a culmination of things, but it's a roller coaster of emotions. Hopefully this will be about, if you ask me, I'm hoping like two years, or maybe 3 years with time served, which ends up being 2, right? Which is almost like a year and a half with the I think you got to serve like, it's beyond 80, is it 85% of your time or something like that for the feds? So, the jury's 2 not guilty verdicts on firearm charges did not implicate your testimony. I have little doubt if the jury was asked if a firearm had been brandished during their kidnapping, they would have said yes. And today you apologized. So basically, the guys who kidnapped 6ix9ine, I'm going to explain it for y'all. The guys who kidnapped 6ix9ine, they got found guilty for the kidnapping, but they got found guilty for using a gun during the kidnapping. Apparently, there was a gun, but there wasn't enough proof. The video, it was at night, it was dark. The gun was brandished outside the vehicle. They were recorded inside the vehicle. There was no direct mention to the gun. And while you could assume that you're kidnapping somebody, you probably have a gun, you can convict them of that charge because they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. So they were innocent of those charges, guilty for kidnapping. So what the judge is saying, 6ix9ine, even though you testified that there was a gun, you're saying it was a gun. The jury said there was not enough evidence, so they said not guilty, right? We're not gonna say you lied. You didn't lie at all. The judge is actually saying, actually, I believe you. There was probably a gun. It says, I have no doubt the process of cooperation for you has been cathartic. For all these reasons, you deserve a very substantial reduction, and you will receive it. I followed some of the commentary during the trial. I took much of it in good fun. What? Oh, hell no. Time out! Time out! The judge says, I appreciated the memes. What the fuck? The judge on Twitch? On Instagram and Twitter? And the judge followed a fucking meme page. This is crazy. Ain't it a bitch if 6ix9ine gets sent away, it's because the judge been following a meme page who been celebrating 6ix9ine getting out. So now the judge feel like he got to get tough. That's what's happening. The judge feel like he got to get tough because niggas online been saying, free the king 6ix9ine. He says, I appreciated the memes, whether at your expense or mine. But I need to say that Nitro is violent, not to be glorified. Cooperation for criminal insiders is a necessary tool. Imagine the members of Nitro free today. There was a slashing victim. Oh, man, the fucking judge in the chat. The fucking judge is in the chat. I'm wondering if the judge said, right here, I followed some of the commentary during the trial. The judge watching my YouTube? Hold up. Huh? This judge look like he in tune. This fucking judge is in tune. This judge look like he might be on my page, Shade Room, Lipstick Alley, fucking all them forums, Salute the Box, then the Coliseum, All Hip Hop, KTT, Reddit. Oh yeah, I fuck with all y'all. Oh hell no. Somebody said the judge is a chat nigga. Hold up, man. Anyone of use could have been in Times Square or the Barclays or in the street with Shotty or Anthony Young. No, I think he meant Aaron Young. God damn it, Judge, we get it. Anybody could have got shot in Times Square. Get to the point. Imagine if the judge say next. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to my motherfucking nigga Akademiks, man. He covered this shit like a motherfucker. I'm logging off. I'm logging off. This judge is too much in tune. The judge said shout out to the memes. Yo, I gotta throw it up on Instagram. The judge said fucking shout out to the memes. Yo, 6ix9ine gotta 6ix9ine gotta say the judge is clout chasing. The judge is clout chasing, bro. There's another tweet, I think. Was there? He says, you're world famous for cooperating. No gang will want to work with you. Everything I've seen suggests to me that this has been a serious experience for you. You've squandered 13 months so far. All right, let that nigga go, bro. You know what's funny, though? The judge admits some of this shit is like, well, he can't really appeal. He could appeal, kind of. Because Shotty's appealing his plea. A judge saying that he watched mad commentary, like, niggas, you watch somebody else give their opinion to get your opinion? Like, that's a very fine line of, like, you know, with a juror, you could be like, yo, they usually say, if you know too much about the case, we don't want you on the case. You feel me? If you've been already watching everything that's going on with El Chapo and you feel a certain type of way already, we don't want you up in here judging the motherfucker. That's not gonna be fair. So I'm wondering how that's like when the judge is basically saying, oh yeah, I was all into this shit. I was checking out the memes. I was checking out the commentary. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, let me refresh. Man, shut the fuck up. Come on, refresh. I be spamming it. Okay. He says, I do not expect you to be tempted to commit violence again. If you do, I am the judge in your case. Holy shit. So I don't expect you to be tempted to commit violence again, but if you do, I am the judge in your case. And your economic self-interest, you have struck a lucrative deal. Situation is unusual. You're very fortunate you land on your field. This is what, okay, that's the best thing he said all day. I don't expect, even though the first half is saying, if you ever do some other shit, I'm going to be your judge. But he says, and your economic self-interest, you struck a pretty good deal. The situation is unusual. You're fortunate you'll land on your feet. I do think in sentencing terms as well. I don't know if they do this at the federal level. I didn't know they do that at state level. Youngboy got this. Youngboy should have got 10 years for, he was literally convicted, or I think he just pled guilty to doing a drive-by shooting that one of the guys in his car actually got shot in the neck. You get me? And he was sentenced to, like, I think either time served or 1 year and then 10 years suspended sentence. So I think it was like time served and like 10 years suspended sentence. And he just got off that recently because they turned that into probation, all that type of shit. And sometimes they'll give motherfuckers suspended sentences, which means you don't go to jail, but you can't get in no trouble. Or if you get in any trouble, it triggers the suspended sentence. I don't know if they do that, but maybe he gets creative. So far, your story appears to prove that there is no such as bad publicity. In my end, my judgment is that 13 months is not enough. I've considered other 5K sentences in gang violence. 13 months is outside the mainstream. It's clear to me, just reading this part right here, the judge is a little bit upset that even though 6ix9ine is snitched, or he is told, 6ix9ine is getting more and more popular, and people really don't care. You get me? So clearly the judge is following social media, but look, so far your story appears to prove that there's no such thing as bad publicity, and in the end, my judgment is that 13 months is not enough, right? Somebody said give him 13.5 months. Okay. The judge says, 6ix9ine, if you were expected to be released today, you will be disappointed. But you are wise enough to cooperate. Your cooperation will result in years more liberty. So your cooperation have shaved off a bunch of years for your freedom. But if you thought you were getting out today, you fucking wrong, my nigga. Y'all saying 2 years? Let's see. Mr. Hernandez, please rise. The judgment of the court. Oh, shit. You're to serve 24 months in prison with 5 years supervised release. Does that include time served? Does that include time served, though? Because 24 months, he already did 13. What's the problem? That's a dub. That's a dub. Clap it up. That's a dub. That's a dub. That's a dub, chat. Clap it up. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, this is the fucking, like, again, the judge saw through the bullshit, but that's what I was thinking a lot. This is the head honcho. He's over here, like, the nigga is literally playing, like, yo, I don't know what game you could just put money on people's heads and they just die. You feel me? Like, this thing is like 20 pack on his head, 20 pack on his head, shoot at that nigga, shoot at him, beat him up, rob him. He the boss. He telling niggas to do all type of shit. 2 years?